Hello, my fellow health enthusiasts. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Lene, and if you're new, this channel is dedicated to helping you to supercharge your health and to simplify your lifestyle so that you'll have the time and the energy to pursue those things in life that really satisfy your soul. So in today's video, I want to discuss with you the various ways that I personally boost my immune system. You've probably been on the rampage, like everyone else, researching all the ways that you can stay healthy right now. I know, because we're all trying to keep ourselves and our immune systems primed and ready to fight off anything. So I get asked this question a lot, especially these days, so I want to provide you with some practical, science-based, research-supported actions that I personally do to keep myself healthy. I'm going to discuss things like supplements, particular exercises that I do, lifestyle habits that I have, in particular to boost the immune system. And I can honestly say that I have not called in sick but one day in the last 6 years, so I know that it's working. In fact, I can't really remember the last time that I was sick. So if you're interested in learning a few interesting tidbits, then let's dive in and discuss some fun and probably unforgettable ways to boost your immune system. And of course, don't forget to click that subscribe button, click the like button, share this video with people that you love, and please comment down below and let me know what you found useful in this video, and if you have some topics that you would like me to cover that are health related or simplicity related in the future. The first thing I'm going to talk about supplemental wise is vitamin C. Oral vitamin C may actually help to reduce the duration of upper respiratory infections and decrease the duration of symptoms such as chest pain, fever, body aches, chills. As a prophylactic care measure, I'll take between 1 and 5,000 milligrams daily. But if I feel something coming on, I personally will take 5,000 milligrams at night before I go to bed. And I like to take either buffered vitamin C because of bowel concerns, to keep everything from being too loose. Just as a little side note there for you. The next supplement that I really like to take is zinc, which indirectly, zinc has been shown to be potentially beneficial in the reduction of risk, duration, and severity of SARS-related viral infections. I take about 30 to 60 milligrams per day prophylactically or preventatively. Thirdly, I am a huge proponent of vitamin D, which really should be called hormone D, because of its many benefits in the body. It's a staple when it comes to antiviral activity. While current studies really remain inconclusive regarding how effective it is in treating viruses, it should be said that low serum levels of vitamin D are associated with greater risk of upper respiratory infections. And because vitamin D is fat soluble, this is really important, you should have your doctor test your serum levels to determine exactly where you're at and whether or not you're in the prescribed range or laboratory range, which is 30 to 100. Ideally, it should be around 60 to 100 year round. For me, living in the Northwest, it is nearly impossible to rely on sun at this latitude for proper vitamin D formation. So I personally take between 5 and 10,000 IUs daily, and with acute symptoms, I will definitely take much higher doses. But please don't just take these numbers and then just start this regimen yourself. This is not a treatment recommendation. That's not why I'm here, but rather a plea for you to see your health practitioner, get your levels tested with your physician, nurse practitioner, or physician's assistant before you start to take a higher dose than, let's say, 5,000 IUs. Really, you need to have someone monitoring your blood levels for this. Are you aware that about 70% of your lymphocytes are produced in the immune patches that surround your gut? Studies really suggest that your microbiome regulates your immune cells and your intestinal epithelial cells. And because of their ability to regulate these cells, there is a positive correlation in the therapeutic potential, included immune-related diseases and viral infections. In essence, your gut bacteria have the ability to affect the gene expression, the protein synthesis, and the signaling of immune cells and your intestinal epithelial cells. Therefore, having a bunch of healthy gut bugs can create the best garden of microbiome to fight off disease. When it comes to administration of probiotics, here is the most important thing to remember. Don't just buy any probiotic. You need to get one that hasn't been sitting in a warehouse without climate control for 6 months. It needs to be one that's been clinically tested and proven that the amount of organisms that it says it has on the bottle are definitely verifiable. If the company that you choose has not undergone testing through a third-party testing facility, then honestly, you need to move on. You are wasting your money. If you can afford a physician-grade product, I would recommend that you get one of these and rotate your species every 2 months. Don't take the same probiotic for a year. Think of it as really increasing the variety of flowers that you have in your garden. You really need to multiply healthy species and a variety of species for the best immune outcome. You may want to start with a small amount like 5 billion and work up to 30 or 45 billion over time. And again, it's always best to discuss this with your functional medicine practitioner, because at the end of the day, some people can be pretty sensitive to just starting out high doses of really good quality probiotics. So you need to make sure that someone's kind of helping you move into a higher amount if it's needed. N-acetylcysteine may actually help to improve the outcomes in those with upper respiratory infections. It may improve systemic oxidation and decrease inflammation in the body as well. Increased rate of patient recovery with respiratory issues have been noted with N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine interacts with the epithelial cells and immune cells in our body and potentially boosts our immune system to combat viral infections. I take about 600 milligram capsules per day to benefit from the immune effects of N-acetylcysteine. I love the vitamin A protocol that was once recommended to me in medical school. And vitamin A is another one of those fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D that must be taken with precaution. If you are pregnant, planning on getting pregnant, not using proper birth control methods, then you can't, nor should you, take this vitamin. If you're not seeking proper medical supervision, please just do not take it. For those of you who are under medical supervision and seeing a practitioner who is monitoring your blood work and your vitamin intake, then you may want to consider a vitamin A booster, especially for acute symptoms. Vitamin A has an affinity for the mucosal membranes and mucosal tissue, and it can actually help ward off many pathogens before they're able to get into the body. Think of these mucosal tissues as your nose, your mouth, genitals, eyes, your lungs, and your gut. Vitamin A strengthens the barriers at the levels where we really need our defenses to be as high as possible. Vitamin A is also involved in gut function and the production of white blood cells to further fight off pathogens roaming around your bloodstream. I like to do what I call a taper when I feel something coming on. So I'll start with a really high dose for 3 days, and then I'll cut it in half for another 3 days, and then I'll cut it in half again for another 3 days. Because you can get serious effects from hypervitamin A or vitaminosis A, I suggest you look for symptom changes like vision changes, bone pain, headaches, and the list goes on. So I'm specifically not putting my treatment protocol here because you really do want to have someone who knows what they're doing put you on a vitamin A taper. Of course, as you always know, my videos are not aimed at diagnosing and treating. That's not why I'm here. So make sure that you are a very responsible patient and getting your practitioner to run some tests for you. And if they're up for it, and most functional practitioners are, they can monitor your protocol for you. Now let's get into some of my favorite lifestyle methods for boosting my immune system. We all know that avoiding sugar is good for your waistline. You know that from reading my book, The Forever Fat Burner. But did you know that just a small amount of sugar can actually significantly reduce the efficacy of your body's ability to fight off pathogens? Seriously, just a teaspoon can do this. Studies show that spikes in your body's blood sugar levels dramatically compromises your immune system, leaving you very vulnerable to pathogenic attack. In fact, a study providing the participants with 100 milligrams of sugar and then monitoring their phagocytic activity, or the first response team of your immune system that cleans up the debris or foreign invaders by eating them up, was actually suppressed for up to 5 hours afterward. 5 hours. So sugar also can really impact your body's natural microbiome garden in your gut. In fact, higher sugar diets lead to increased gut permeability, meaning that things that shouldn't get through the gut walls do and result in inflammation at the mucosal level. Interestingly enough, some studies have shown that exposure to glucose with viral infections, unlike bacterial infections, can sometimes help the body fight off the virus. So what does this dichotomy mean? Well, while studies seem to indicate that sugar reduction is more appropriate when fighting off bacterial versus a viral infection, the evidence also indicates that avoiding sugar entirely is preventative of both types of infections. Another lifestyle tip that I want to give you is to avoid, well, we can't avoid stress, let's be honest. But decreasing stress in our life is so important. So whether it's life's tasks, certain events, and people who frustrate us, At some point in our lives, our body's ability to cope with these types of stressors is going to decrease. And as a result, endogenous hormones such as cortisol act as a response to these stressors. And when these stressors are short-lived, elevated cortisol actually helps to keep inflammation at bay. But if the stressor is left unchecked, your cortisol levels can eventually lead to elevated inflammatory responses in the body. And this inflammatory response leads to suppressed production of white blood cells, which leads to decreased activity of the immune system, which leaves you susceptible to all sorts of pathogens. Many diseases are actually linked to chronic stress, including arthritis, lupus, fibromyalgia, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, some cancers, and mental decline. So if you don't manage your stress properly and recognize when you're feeling that elevated stress levels are coming on, and then direct your activity or your attention to something that will help to slow down the brain-body connection, you're really headed down the wrong path. If you need to get an Aura ring or use the HeartMath Institute's app for monitoring your sympathetic activity, this is really helpful because it kind of reminds you when you need to take a breath, and then you do it. Make time in your day to breathe every day, stretch every day, go for walks outside every day. Spend time with your dog if you have one. Have a glass of wine with loved ones. Walk away from a stressful situation. Journal. Do something. But doing nothing will lead you down a path that is susceptible to catching the latest and greatest virus, bacteria, or microbe that doesn't belong in your body. Another basic but very important immune booster is sleep. And sleep and the circadian system exert a very strong moderation influence on the immune functions. Studies looking into the normal sleep-wake cycle showed that immune-naive T cells and the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines exhibit peak production during sleep, whereas cytotoxic natural killer cells, as well as anti-inflammatory cytokine activity, peak during wake time. Sleep study findings on immune activity found that sleep in general helps with the formation of immunological memory and helping you to further fight off new pathogens. So make sure your sleep hygiene is in check. And if you need help with that, I have plenty of videos, and I'll link one here for you that discusses my favorite sleep hygiene habits. One of my favorite ways to de-stress and improve lung function and boost the immune system is to jump on my trampoline. You know I love my Cellerciser, and it is really my main form of exercise and has helped me to get in my best shape. But it's so much more than that. There are 3 moves that I'm going to share with you today that are particularly important when fighting off stress and disease. The first move is the gentle health bounce. The gentle health bounce is your basic move that has the most bang for your buck in health returns. This simple move is one that almost everyone can do to stimulate lymphatic flow, improve circulation, and strengthen your cardiovascular system, as well as increase oxygenation to the tissue, improve digestion and elimination, and the list goes on. So if you only do one move during the day, this is it. Just the lymphatic drainage benefits alone are enough to increase detoxification and improve your cellular function. The movement creates pressure changes in the body and helps to break up blockages and causes millions of one-way valves to open and shut. This activates your internal vacuum system of suction to flush and eliminate viruses, germs, bacteria, dead cells, mutant cells, fungus, cancerous cells, and all foreign invaders. And I got this information directly from research that was posted on cellarsize.com. The second movement that I love is the sprint. A 1-minute sprint on the Cellarsizer can increase circulation of white blood cells 10 to 15 times. It is seriously like giving yourself a natural antibiotic every day. You do this move 2 to 3 times a day and you have an immune system on high alert at most parts of the day. The third movement I love is the lung strengthener. This movement is key to opening up the lung tissue, including the third of the lungs that we never fully use. It opens up the bronchial tubes, increases blood flow to the lung tissue, helping you to clear out pathogens faster, helping you to strengthen your lung tissue, to increase oxygen capacity, making you less prone to lung-related illnesses. Now, I'm not the creator of these moves. Dave Hall created the lung strengthener, and besides its amazing ability to increase fat metabolism, actually oxygen burns fat and is released as carbon dioxide and water in your breath, it is actually one of my staples for keeping my lungs healthy and clear. So there you have it, my friends. My absolute best tips for improving your immune system. And honestly, the biggest mistake I see folks make when it comes to trying to boost the immune system is simply popping a few vitamins without taking care of lifestyle factors like sleep, drinking lots of water, breathing more deeply, decreasing stress, and giving up sugar for a while, because those are really the things that get the job done. And quite frankly, you can eat like a champ, but if you pull an all-nighter and you don't sleep well, you're probably gonna catch a cold. You can take vitamin C every day, but if you're stressed to the max and not slowing yourself down, your body's gonna force you into a staycay on the couch to prove a point. So really, the first thing I want you to do right now is to pick one of the lifestyle factors that I just mentioned and make a commitment today to make this thing your priority. So I want you to log your progress every day and keep a record of your wins and the days that you actually do well at this lifestyle practice. Make an appointment with a practitioner that can test your vitamin levels and start a regimen right away that suits your current state and your serum levels. I can't stress this enough because you really need, when you're gonna start any supplemental program, you need someone to monitor it for you. Do I sound like a broken record yet? So congratulations, you guys. You've just gone through an immune boosting boot camp that I currently use for myself to keep me free of most infections. So if you found this useful, then don't forget to subscribe for more supercharged and simplified health tips. Click that like button down there, and if you found it useful, please share it with those that you care about and leave a comment down below. Let me know which of these tips you liked, what kind of subject matter you'd like me to cover in the future, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Mwah.